Hey, Nation, Harry here. We're with one of our new analysts, Jack Isaacs, out of the Los Angeles area. Jack, welcome aboard as we head into 2021.
Thank you, Harry. It's a pleasure to be on.
Yeah, well, you're helping us continue to tell a story about the maturity continuum in the MSP community, and not so much the tech side. I mean, you and I, we could talk API and automation, and we're not here to talk about that. I'm talking about the actual business maturity. And I want to explore that over the next few quarters. But before we can double click into demographics and personas and all that, sir, what is your story? So this is your chance to introduce yourself to SMB Nation.
Wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate it. I started as a lawyer. I practiced for about 15 years. It was
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm
no,
from a
no,
family
no,
of
no,
lawyers.
No, don't say that. I love being a lawyer. Although I do say once a lawyer, always an alcoholic. So
Okay.
I am not a reformed lawyer. I continue to be a lawyer, but I've now moved. First, I moved to Silicon Valley. I was at a company called Macrovision,
Yep.
which
Yep.
is digital rights management, which was a hell of a lot of fun. They were wonderful people there. I loved the company. They were kind enough to help pay for my MBA, which I went to Wharton School. They opened up a school west.
Wow.
They
That's
opened
the
up a
real
school,
deal.
south of Market in San Francisco. So it's been around for about 16 years. It was a great program. I was second class to graduate. I loved the program. And I ended up moving into private equity. Started out as an unpaid intern at Kayne Anderson down here in Los Angeles. Became a managing director and partner in about 4.5 years. Did a lot of deals with them. Then I went to a company called RLJ Equity Partners, which stands for Bob Johnson of Black Entertainment Television. Bob Johnson was the first African-American billionaire.
Okay.
He's an incredibly smart businessman. He's got a whole lot of verticals, real estate or hospitality space. He's got investments in a ton of really interesting things. It was a pleasure working for him. It was a great team. And just this beginning of this year, I decided to go out on my own. So I'm starting my own private equity fund.
Wow.
It's
And
daunting, but exciting.
I don't know a lot about private equity. With all due respect, I grew my company organically. I probably should have borrowed money, but so are you targeting specific verticals? I kind of get the impression maybe private equity companies have strengths in defense or aerospace, or they target. So what are your targets?
Yeah, my background is more tech. I like you. I was a bit of a nerd, a bit of a computer geek. I have 12-year-old boy-girl twins, and I was explaining to them that when I started, I built my first computers back when you had to use a soldering gun because things didn't slip in nicely the way they do now. Everything is like, plug in, but back in the day, nothing.
It's all changed.
Yes.
Even I can open up a laptop and replace a hard drive and battery.
Yeah, no, it's simple now. I mean, the industry is so advanced; it's brilliant. So no, I like tech. I think when you look at the industries in this country, the ones that are really growing fastest and very consistently tend to be technology, some healthcare, business services. I'm growth equity. I'm looking for companies that grow fast. I do think with coronavirus, that is only going to be exacerbated. There's going to be greater move to the cloud, greater move to the internet, retail sales. I think there are going to be some fascinating opportunities that I'm going to get to see and hopefully invest in. So
that's we interviewed an insurance agent in a vertical similar to healthcare the other day. He moved to Steamboat Springs, Colorado. He exited his first commercial insurance business, had a handsome exit, wanted to live the dream in Steamboat Springs. And we were talking to him that, these Colorado ski towns have become Zoom towns, right? Yeah. He said it's bananas up at Steamboats. Just when they were worried about global climate change and snow going away, now the town's booming.
Yeah. No, so I will say, and I touched on this before with you, I am concerned with COVID of significant amount of job displacement.
Yeah.
The hospitality sector, airline industry, obviously, but also I think coming real estate is going to be a big problem, not only because of companies deciding to not buy those big office buildings in New York,
Correct.
but also with regard to like renters. I mean, people haven't had jobs. They're not going to be able to pay that rent. That rent is still due. And people that own that property, they have mortgages that they have to cover. So
Yeah.
I anticipate some real significant economic shifts coming up in the economy that I don't think we fully addressed. So I am a little nervous about that for the economy as a whole. That being said, when you have this kind of changes in the economy, there are also significant opportunities, and I'm looking to take advantage of that.
Well, yeah, and just speaking for myself, rode this horse hard on server-side infrastructure with small business server, and I would argue it's a fairly mature market. And I don't do as well as I would like personality-wise in mature markets. I'm really good as sort of a risk-forward, early-stage momentum
Yep.
entrepreneur. I'd like to say I'm an investor, but I'm investing my time. So that's really called an entrepreneur. But I take steps two at a time. And again, in future visits, I'll share with the audience some outside business interest I have. But got to skip in my step, taking steps two at a time. And so I applaud that you're thinking about forward growth, opportunities. And that can include, you kind of raised your hand and said, I'm interested in the MSP community. On the one hand,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm saying the MSP community is mature, but that also creates growth opportunities. I don't know if you want to check off on that, and then we'll double click into all that in Q1.
Wonderful. I look forward to it.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Thanks for your time, and hope good times return. And I used to travel a lot, so LA was on LA was on the roadmap. Maybe we'll meet someday live.
That would be wonderful. I'd love to get back on the road myself.
All right, Jack. Thank you.
Thank you.